The topic is zero-day vulnerability exploits within the fintech industry. I would like to introduce the moderator of this panel and also the other panelists. So the moderator of the panel is Kaya Naroom. Please excuse me if I haven't pronounced your name correctly. She is the head of IBM Security. And then we have with us online Harry Hautala. He's the cybersecurity specialist from Handelsbanken, Finland. And then we have Ludas Alisauskas, CISO from Connect Pay. Again, excuse me if I haven't pronounced your name correctly. I tried my best. Great. So without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Kaya, and please take it away.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and this is certainly very secure because I'm on my own here on stage, but I have two great panelists with me. And I would like to start with a very broad question. And we are going to talk about zero trust today. So what does zero trust mean to you, particularly?
Well, good day, everyone, audience, panelists. Yes, this is a great buzzword that goes around about the zero trust. So what does that mean for us, for our company? It's a really important topic, a very wide topic. And speaking about the zero trust, we speak about that in two domains, directly in the business processes, in our business services, and as well as all business, especially in electronic money institution, is built on ICT solutions. In this domain, it's a very important topic as well. We don't operate alone in this world. We are interconnected like financial institutions with each other. So before entering into the interconnection, zero trust, or at least at some degree trust of your partner, is really very important.
And Harry?
Yeah, I would say increasingly the zero trust is as my colleague here said, its importance is growing day by day, and it's in a vital position in the nowadays companies. So this, in short, a wide question, really, indeed, I have to say.
Certainly it is.
Yeah.
And also for the audience, because I can imagine that many of you have different opinions about what zero trust is. There is a tremendous hype around this topic, by the way. What kind of advice or ideas can you in the panel give the audience here today when it comes to zero trust and where you are on your zero trust journey in your companies?
Well, I'm a strong believer. Sometimes you can hear, especially speaking with security professionals in our professional network, some complaints about, for example, investments, insufficient investments, and so on and so forth. Well, once again, I'm a strong believer that senior management boards, whoever make decisions on investment in security area in your company, they speak two languages. The first one is money. That's what these people, smart people, are responsible for. And dialect, or the second language, is risk management. So bringing any topic, including zero trust topic, for discussion into the senior management area, we should be able to speak these two languages as well. First of all, it's risk management. Everyone, as a security professionals, we have to do risk identification and estimation first. Then speaking the seniors risk management language, it helps a lot to all the team to sit by the same table to understand what's going on, what are the risks, how big they are, we are exposed at, and what we should do with this risk, how to mitigate them. So probably to wrap up, risk assessment, correct risk assessment, and this is the language with the company senior management to move forward in any direction.
And what do you mean? So you said that you have to speak the risk management language.
It's like Lithuanian, English, Swedish. So I would say there is one more language, two languages: money and risk management.
And how do you manage to do that towards your leadership and talking that language when you also talk different? When it comes to zero trust and you talk about risk management, how do you put those together?
Okay, actually, I'm the happy one. I'm not the only one who speaks risk management language to the board, to the seniors. There are another functions like risk management function for the first business units as well. So we have quite good culture and the processes in place already to work in one place from risk management perspective. So once again, periodical risk assessment of all areas, including security, assessment reporting, and of course, seniors make decisions to take an action. So to wrap up, probably all security and investment and topics in our company, they come through a risk management via the risk management channel, and it works.
Thank you. And Harry, what is your view? What kind of advice or ideas can you give the audience here today when it comes to zero trust? As we all know, there is a tremendous hype around it.
Yeah, it's can call it a hype word, but we have to see this as a how do I say, a larger context. The whole world is going towards moving from, let's say, now in Sweden it's easy to explain, it's a kingdom, you have a castle and the king is inside, and you have things around the castle to protect the king. And this is how trust has been traditionally built, and the ideology with firewalls doing the protection in protecting the local area networks. That's pretty much how it has been in the old days. Now the whole IT world is heading very, very strongly towards cloud-based solutions, multi-vendor solutions, and all that. We have to see that the ICT scene is now moving to a technically more complex and more abstract things. And this is one thing, that technology is more abstract, and the speed of development is tremendously high. And all this, all the decisions in the end are made in business. And does the business leaders and the top management fully understand this big change? Maybe not, maybe yes. So you need definitely to be, well, bilingual. You have to speak business and you have to speak ICT. And this is one good dimension in this. And this also means that each company should have a strategic approach towards information and communication technology. And they should have a strategic approach towards risks as well. And the risks are business risks. The IT risks and ICT risks are only one part of the business risks. And this is, I would say, the big thing that you have to see in each company today. And we speak about zero trust here, and I represent Handelsbanken, who is, let's say, one of the #1 trust organizations in the Nordics. We have many customers who are trusting their money and their wealth to us. And you see, we have to build a balance based on that the trust towards the customer remains. And whatever ICT measures, whatever zero trust you have to build, that it all has to come back to the strategic viewpoint that there's a customer you have to serve every day, 24/7.
You mentioned, Harry, that the old way of doing security is not good enough, but the old way of doing security, we have done that for a long time, maybe 10, 15, almost 20 years. And have we really changed? And how fast can we actually change to move over to the zero trust architecture, the zero trust journey? What is your view on that, Harry?
This, of course, you have to, well, the scale of the business gives kind of the time scale as well. How fast can you move? You can imagine a bank, it's a bit different process than, let's say, a small, medium-sized company. Of course, then there is the other side is that a bigger company, they can always hire consultants, they can always buy the knowledge and buy the skills and all that. But when you go back to smaller companies, the whole world is so different. You have to understand the scarce resources and how to manage the cash flow from day to day, month to month, to keep the business alive. It's a totally different level of discussion. How do you do the transfer of traditional trust to zero trust? But also, your question was good, because I think, is this totally new? Is this, what can you use from the old ones? And the security onion thinking is, I think, one thing. You have a core, you have a crown jewels to protect, and you build an onion type of protection around your crown jewels. That's perhaps one thing that could be passed on. There's lots of, the business risk is still the same. The technology is behind changes.
Thank you. And Laudas, what is your view?
Well, I would like just to supplement Harry. You asked before about the boundaries, so yes, it's nothing new to say that the boundaries have been dissolved, and that the challenge has been increased. On the other hand, what I have noticed that a lot of risk mitigation measures or controls lie into the contracts with the partners, the service providers, so like cloud service providers. So let's say before we build our protection measures like firewalls, and now we see that we go into the partnership with a contract, and we put a lot of surges into the contract. It's not the same as to build the security yourself, but you really trust you have to trust your partner, and we do that. So many agreements or for security insurance lay down to the contracts, and I've mentioned that the contracts have been evolved. For example, if 10 years ago we didn't speak about the active partnership, like active communication channels with our partners, so today it's a must. We agree how we ensure our business continuity We agree that we ensure that our systems, our services are and will stay at least secure at such level. We agree how we will communicate each other if we detect some incidents or warnings with each other. So a lot of stuff goes into the contract, which is, paper only, but it's very important. And here comes in our main topic, trust. We trust to some degree. We agree that some measures will be measured, to verify our trust of each other.
So today we heard a lot about how to stop different types of attacks, like ransomware attacks and phishing attacks and DDoS attacks. So to both you, Laudas and Harry, what about the zero trust architecture, the journey, the philosophy? Is that capable of helping us to survive today and in the future?
Harry, me, who steps in?
The one that talks the loudest.
You first. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, once again, now we jump into the ICT domain. Definitely, a lot of interconnections, and probably without those interconnections, without cross-integrated services from third parties, let's say, overall business is impossible. The banking services are impossible at all. So there are interconnections. So how we make connections and how we secure connections. There are, from technological perspective, many measures to do that. I will speak a little about details, like our channels, they are protected. They are available only to each other, like IP restriction or whitelisting. It's one of the techniques. Of course, many technologies, the main language for technologies to communicate as of today probably is an API channel. So this the main language or protocol for communication, as well as it has to be secured, secure channel encrypted, strong authentication, and all that stuff. So we make connections, yet we have to ensure, and we do ensuring the security of those our interconnections, not to be attacked or intercepted by the actors who we do not want to jump in our connected systems. So this is one part, what we build, the architecture, and probably that's the main idea or principle. We move on, and I'm definitely sure that the world makes the solutions as well. But it's really very important, okay, we have architecture, we have built them, or we assume that we have done in very secure way. Yet, what is really important, monitoring and detection of all incidents or even signals that something is going wrong. And I would say that this is really challenging part as well, to monitor all this, your dissolved perimeter, to get data, and even though that you manage to get a lot of data, systems speak a lot, to be capable of detecting anomalies, what you don't have designed to happen. And this is very challenging task to work with.
And Harry?
Yeah, I think to add on to this answer, I think everyone has to understand this is a process, and a process means there's continuous active work going on these subjects. And yes, it involves more and more communication, because you have to have instead of having everything on site inside one company, there is a supply chain, the whole supply chain, and technology-wise, you could, in quotations, talk about supply chains. You have these APIs, you have different systems communicating with each other, cryptography, all this to be taken care of. So it indeed, there has to be processes established inside the company and with the whole supply chain.
Thank you. So what is most important to you and your company when it comes to cybersecurity? Who's first?
Well, once again, coming back to the cybersecurity area, capability or horsepower, I would say, to detect things that is going on currently. But we all understand that we speak about the reactive, our reactive actions in this state. So it's really important to be able to identify or detect bad things started going on, to respond correctly as well, and be able to mitigate these risks proactively. And here, Jensen, like threat intelligence, smart algorithms who can model something, and of course, there you will going in this area. You receive a lot of false positive, but I would say it's better to get false positive than the silence. Not to to dig in that area for investigation, but it's better than going on the reactive way.
And Harry?
Yeah, I would say, well, the most important in security is, as I said, to secure our customers, to secure our business. Again, the strategic approach to security in general, then it all comes down to this technical side. You have to be preferably proactive. You need to be communicative with the supply chains and all that. But there have to be the clear vision in mind that it's the customers that you are protecting and the business you're protecting. Put it short.
So we're heading towards the end, and before we go to the final question, if you could remove one obstacle that you are seeing today, independent of any investments from your management team, what would that be, in terms of security, of course?
Skilled people, probably. As we have 3 technologies, processes, and people, skilled people, once again, probably, and it's not internal boundary, but I guess currently all companies face the same challenge to find and to convince and join the company very skilled people. So I would like to remove this boundary. It would be really easier to live. We in the market, in the security market, we have wonderful technologies, and you have already been presented with some of them during this event. We have technologies. We can make processes with, once again, all this really huge power. At the end of the day, is managed by really by people, and the effectiveness and the success lays down on skilled, bright-minded people. So I would like not to have such a challenge.
Thank you. And Harry?
Yeah, I as well. I wouldn't say, I can't say I personally see in any obstacles, but but upskilling, reskilling people is just one thing, and well, remove the whole crime scheme from the world. So that would be a big thing, really, but that's maybe too much of a hope.
Harry, no, we will lose our jobs.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, it's a joke. I totally agree with you, but it's a good wish.
Yeah. The thing is that we have lots of the online crime is bigger than the drug industry. So it's the biggest skin of a crime is online.
Yeah. And what kind of last words would you like to say to the audience here today?
Actually, I just remember the real event in my career that happened, and it's closely related to the topic that we discussed today, zero trust. Company A had a good and long partnership with the company B. Sales and support, they have been communicated for a couple of years already. So the trust was gained. John knows Anne very, very well. They communicate via emails and so on and so forth. Well, what happened, company B have been hacked and hacked their exchange server. So what happened, the natural company B received a lot of well-designed infected emails from the impersonating the person that from company B that company has been communicated for many years. And that's it. The trust had been built. One company had been hacked. Communication seemed like everyday communication. There was the final result, probably 50 or more people really clicked on all links that have been those malicious emails. And here, zero trust topic comes in very, fits in very well. So just share it, a real case. And once again, we have to trust each other. And once again, we have to monitor our trust, whether it's still worth to trust our partners. We have to do that. Thank you.
And Harry?
Okay, I'll make it very short. Make security for every employee's priority. You have to do security all together. That's the only way. And build the company culture so that every employee is willing to do that for your company. And then you have security. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Any questions from the audience, maybe, to the panelists? It's lunch that is ticking. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lourdes and Harry.
Thank you.